So we've already done like a reaction video to the Witch Queen reveal. And if you still want to check that out, there will be a link to that in the description below. However, I wanted to go over some of the details that I think you may have missed, or maybe you didn't. Me personally, there's a lot to take in, especially on a reveal day. And sometimes I gloss over the details. So without further ado, guys, let's go over the essential details of Destiny 2's future. First up, Witch Queen will be launching February the 22nd, 2022. Now, of course, the Witch Queen is all about Savathun, who is the sister of Oryx. And this season is like the prologue to the Witch Queen. I don't really want to spoil anything for folks that are really interested in the story and haven't played the season yet, but so far, narratively, it's been good. Some other details though, Savathun is about 21 feet tall. I'm not exactly sure why Bungie shared that detail, but it is a detail. She also has wings, moth people confirmed, but no, her strength actually lies in her ability to deceive, and for the Witch Queen, her ability to give light subclasses to the Hive. That's right, going into the Witch Queen, we'll be facing Hive with light-based abilities, solar, void, arc. And it actually made me wonder if Bungie's gonna include game modes like the Crucible, but instead of facing Guardians, we face Hive Guardians. Think of them as bots, similar to what Halo does. But again, nothing confirmed on that, I'm just speculating. But a major detail, light subclasses are getting a major update going into Witch Queen. They're actually gonna be converted to the same system that we see here with Stasis. Now, I don't believe it's gonna be exactly like Stasis, as we saw some questionable things in the trailer. We saw a Void Hunter being able to shadow dive, and some other abilities that seem to hybrid themselves with our light subclasses. What this actually makes us think is that we're not just gonna get a one-to-one transfer here of our light subclasses to the Stasis subclass menu layout, but instead, we may actually get something much deeper, guys. Maybe a merge of everything. And if you think about things narratively, you constantly hear the same thing. The line between light and dark is very thin. I really think we're gonna be looking at not just a transfer here of light subclasses to the same customization that we see here for Stasis, but instead a complete hybrid system merging it all together. Now, Void subclasses will be the first set of subclasses being updated in Witch Queen, and every season following that will also receive an update to another set of subclasses, meaning this time next year, all light subclasses should be updated to be on par with Stasis. Which brings us to our next detail. Are we getting new subclasses? At least from what we saw in yesterday's trailers, no. I did not see any details, and I know we combed through it, we speculated, but listen, guys, this is why we made that video the other day about tempering our expectations. New subclasses in Destiny 2 normally don't come but every other year, and we just got new subclasses. Is it possible that Bungie's just keeping this under wraps? Maybe, but that is a huge marketing tool for Bungie, because normally, just like they did with Stasis, the entire trailer, all of them, were revolving around the reveal of Stasis and giving us darkness abilities. Bungie wouldn't miss out on that marketing. Not only that, the hype that it would have generated yesterday alongside what we already saw would have been too much to contain. This is not something I think Bungie would be hiding from us. And I do think it's very likely that we will not be getting new darkness-based subclasses considering the large overhaul that are coming to our light-based subclasses. Again though, I could be wrong. And there's a lot of people still hugging their notes from all the different leaks that's been happening. I have not looked at a single leak. I'm just purely going off of what I've seen in the trailers. Which takes us to another detail. Bungie's really up into things narratively, but they also seem to be revisiting their roots when it comes to having a difficult campaign. They're actually introducing legendary difficulty modes for our campaigns, meaning tougher enemies, restricted respawns, and the difficulty will scale based on how many fire team members you have. So it won't necessarily be easier with a full fire team. I think the interesting part though was the comparisons that Bungie was making here, most notably to Halo. That's right, Bungie's actually saying right here that their campaign will match that of previous Halo games, both in its narrative and in its difficulty. They've done it once, guys, and I can't remember the guy who's actually over, like there's somebody that's over the narrative team or like directing it more alongside the campaigns. From what I've been told, they're looking to make the campaign much more meaningful and serious and memorable, which I think for many of us OG Halo players, that's exactly what we want. Which takes us to another detail. I just brought up that light subclasses will be handed off to the Hive, but Savathun actually has a completely new race, which still look like Hive, but they're called the Lucent Brood. Those are the ones that are actually gifted with these light subclass abilities. Now, I'm sure there's still going to be Hive roaming about, but I guess those are like her personal guard. Now, we're also going to be getting a new raid. This is actually going to be based in Savathun's throne world, and I believe in the swamp portion. By the way, somebody at Bungie has got to be fans of Dark Souls, right? Like, this throne world has got Dark Soul vibes all over it. Now, not only are we getting this raid, but we're also going to be getting 2 new dungeons, which will be included in the deluxe edition, as well as another remastered old Destiny 1 raid. And I have no idea what it's going to be. A lot of people are saying it's going to be King's Fall, but who knows? Bungie did state, though, that starting in Witch Queen and beyond, we will have legacy raid rotations for all the old raids, giving meaning and reason to do those raids every single week. Now, some other details. There will be weapon crafting coming in Witch Queen. We have been asking for something like this for a very long time. I know, grinding for weapons over and over is great, but RNG can still be very brutal. Now, what's interesting with this relic is that there seems to be ways in which you can unlock more things to allow for better crafting of that weapon. The more you use that specific weapon, the more it levels it up. And I'm assuming it levels it up on the crafting table itself. And this is something that's not just going to apply to new weapons. This is also going to apply to legacy weapons. And starting in Witch Queen, all Throne World weapons, new raid weapons, and seasonal weapons will be craftable at launch. What I foresee with this system, guys, is a way in which the more you use a specific weapon, the more perks you unlock. And with every additional perk, the ability to fine-tune that weapon to a specific gun roll that you're looking for. Now, for my free-to-play players, I just mentioned a second ago that an old Destiny 1 raid will be remastered. You will be able to have access to that, alongside a new 6-player match-made activity. I know we're going over a lot of paid content, but my free-to-play players, you'll get some love as well. Now, the Light and Darkness saga. Bungie mentioned that yesterday, and they actually stated that it will end not with Lightfall, but actually with the expansion, The Final Shape. Now, we make jokes and meme about it, talking about shapes inside of Destiny, triangles versus circles. I have no idea what that expansion name even means. And when we talk about expansion names like Forsaken, Beyond Light, Lightfall, man, those are some banger names. The Final Shape, though, well, what the hell is that? Now, talking with Kuja yesterday, he actually thinks that the next 2 expansions, Lightfall and Final Shape, will probably have the new Darkness subclasses, making it 3 light and 3 dark. The point here, though, that Bungie made after mentioning the Final Shape was that this is just the end to the Light and Darkness saga for Destiny, but this is not the end for Destiny 2, meaning whatever narratively takes place, there is still something beyond even the final release of the Light and Darkness saga. Now let's move on to the 30th year anniversary. That's actually coming up in December of this year, guys. We've seen some rumors about like Bungie and 343 doing something there between each other. What we do know for sure, though, is that there will be an anniversary pack for sale if you wanted to buy it separately. It's like $24 right now, but it'll gain you access to the new dungeon, which will be pirate themed, and you will access it via the loot cave in the Cosmodrome. There's also going to be 3 armor sets. One of them is actually Dorn inspired, the return of Ias Luna, 1,000 Yard Stare, as well as the Claymore Sword from Myth, which was a previous game from Bungie, and yes, arguably the most iconic exotic inside of Destiny 2, Galahorn is making a return. Now, Bungie specifically stated that Galahorn will be tuned to this sandbox so that it shouldn't be overpowered, but man, it still has Wolfpack rounds, so we'll see. Now, talking about Season of the Lost real quick, guys, this is kind of a weird one because Season of the Lost has a lot of good things going for it. The problem is we're playing the prologue already kind of knowing what's happening next. Even though I'm enjoying the prologue, we already know how this Savathun thing is gonna go. But I'm not gonna get into the narrative thing too much. This season, we do have 2 new exotics, Aegir Scepter and Lawrence Driver, both of which we're gonna be reviewing. I think the Scepter, though, is time-locked, where you do a quest every single week. There's also new stasis weapons, which, by the way, we've already covered if you want to check out that video. The new exotic armor this season, though, isn't exactly new, but they are still very good exotics. They're from Destiny 1, and that includes Nothing Manacles, No Backup Plans, and Radiant Dance Machines. Crossplay is live now, and BattleEye Anti-Cheat is also live, although this is still a soft launch of BattleEye, meaning it will not start to issue auto bans until September the 10th. Now, the events included in this season, considering how long this season actually is, guys, it stretches all the way to February, includes the Festival of the Lost, the Dawning and Moments of Triumph, as well as the weekly mission Shattered Realm. So guys, those are all the details that I have. Did I miss some stuff? Probably. Oh, Trials of the 9 Weapons do drop from the Prophecy Dungeon. However, they are bugged. That was the last thing I wanted to include. Outside of that, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you okay with no subclasses coming in Witch Queen? Are you excited about the big revamp coming to our light-based subclasses? Let me know. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.